Before I get into the video, I wanted to give a shout out to the Encore Brother 83. I first saw this on his Twitter handle, and this is in regards to a story that I saw on the New York Post regarding Howard University and its substandard living conditions with its students. Now, the students have been living in the uh, like the like the main part of the campus. You had students sleeping in tents. You had students sleeping in the main hall, and needless to say, this is beyond unacceptable. Article I pulled up from the Guardian: rats, molds, and roaches. Howard students stayed sitting over housing conditions. Now, this incident first took place back in October of this year, where the article first came out. But I have a lot of questions for that. But after I read the article, we're going to get into it. Mold, rats, cockroaches, mushrooms growing under the sink for undergraduate students attending Howard University, a historically black college in Washington, D.C. These and other conditions have prompted students to protest, staging a sit-in, and sleeping at the university's main student center for the past 2 weeks. Well, actually, this article was back in October, but it's been going on for the past month. Now, organizing on social media apps like Instagram and TikTok under the hashtag Blackburn Takeover, as many as 150 students have been staging a sit-in at Howard's Blackburn University Center, described by the social hub of the University by Howard. Now, since October 12th, they've protested what they describe as deplorable housing conditions, including mold on expired air filters, rat and cockroach infestations, mushrooms blooming on dorm room ceilings and under sinks, despite on-campus housing costing upwards of $12,000 a year. That's beyond fucking disgusting. $12,000 a year to be living in that filth? When you have mold infestation, look, you can sit there and spray the room down with bleach and it won't do a goddamn thing. When mold is starting to get to the point where it's out of control, it is uninhabitable. You breathe that stuff in your body, it could possibly kill you. It has links to all kinds of diseases and things of that nature, and you got people living in that, and they're paying $12,000 for that? Now, Kamala Harris is the vice president of the United States. She is right down the road from goddamn Howard University. As much as she was parading that talking point on the Breakfast Club with Charlatan the Fraud and DJ Envy and Angela Yee when she lied about smoking weed and all that, when she was a when Joe Biden tapped her ass as vice president, figuratively, not literally. But Joe Biden tapped her ass as vice president, and what's the one thing she did? She took Dana Bash and that CNN crew last year was parading around goddamn Ohio University talking about how she learned this curriculum in this hall and how she learned curriculum in that hall. And she sat there socially distanced with goddamn on Dana Bash with these pre-approved interviews. So you mean to tell me when she was parading around Howard University, ain't she an alumni? How the fuck she didn't know this was going on? More importantly, why didn't she do anything about it? And y'all wonder why I got problems with Kamala Harris. That woman ain't shit. You got students paying as much as $12,000. Now, that's not even counting the books. That's not even counting the tuition. That's not even counting the goddamn degree. And that's what you got them living in? Rat infested, cockroach infested, mushrooms growing out of the sinks and out of the roof, and you got mold everywhere. How are these poor kids supposed to have a healthy learning environment when they got to come back to their dorm room and their dorm room's underwater because a pipe burst? is unacceptable. It shouldn't have to take a protest to where, and then the school got nerve to sit up there and threaten these kids with expulsion. That's the one thing that really pissed me off. They got nerve to threaten these kids with suspensions and expulsions, all because they're protesting substandard living conditions. Let's continue on. Students chronicling the sit-in with the Instagram account The Live Movement are also sleeping at the center in protest and say they will not leave until these demands are met. Sleeping outside and in the Blackbird Center has been nicer than a lot of our dorms, said a woman named Nakai, 18 years old, a freshman at Howard University and a sit-in participant. Student organizers have been using the Student Center to launch mutual aid efforts, feeding Howard University students for free, providing free haircuts, and hosting yoga sessions. Now, I mean, that might sound kind of noble to somebody else, but that ain't fucking noble to me. Give these people a decent place to live in. What the fuck is a free haircut gonna do? 2 weeks later, the hair grows back. Sometimes they grow, depending who you are, you get a haircut and that shit might grow back in a couple days. What the fuck is a free haircut gonna do? So what? You get free haircut. It still don't address the real situation of the people sleeping in the goddamn dorm of a hall floor. Because they can't go to their actual dorm, because the actual dorm is full of rats, it's full of roaches, you got goddamn mushrooms growing out of the goddamn sink, but yet they're gonna offer them a one-time free haircut. That's like me living in a goddamn apartment, right? I got fired from my job due to the pandemic. I can't afford to pay my rent through the pandemic, and what the government do? Well, we're just gonna give you a one-time $1,400 check. Get the fuck out of here. Them deans, all them deans up there, and I'm gonna call y'all asses out one by one. All them goddamn deans up there, all the alumni making money hand over fist. They're quitting the parade. They were quick to parade. Yeah, Howard, HBCU, yeah, woo-hee! And yet they're not wanting to do a goddamn thing about it. They're gonna let them kids suffer. They're quick to have block parties, concerts, all that other shit, but nobody is willing to lift a goddamn finger to help them goddamn kids have decent living conditions. All that bullshit is unacceptable. Now, I remember Howard University had enough nerve to call themselves being appalled at Bill Cosby getting his rape conviction overturned. They had a lot of smoke for that, but yet their own students can't even live in decent housing, and yet y'all want to run your mouth about Bill Cosby and all that. This is a situation that should already been addressed. It should not take a whole bunch of students protesting outside the dean's office for some traction to happen. Speaking of which, that black bootlicking dean, hey motherfucker, you mean to tell me you toured those goddamn dorm rooms? You mean to tell me you couldn't figure out something was going on? Ruben Patterson, Ruben Patterson, you're the head honcho and all this bullshit. Ruben Patterson, yeah, I'm calling your ass up by name. Ruben Patterson, why aren't you doing anything about this? Ruben Patterson. So what? So it took a whole bunch of students protesting. It took a whole bunch of media people coming over there for you to get off your motherfucking ass to do something about this shit. But you got nerve to collect a paycheck. You got nerve to take your ass at home and sleep in your comfortable ass bed at night, knowing that students are sleeping on the fucking floor. You're fucking disgusting. Far as I'm concerned, all them kids should have free education. All of them. You mean to tell me tuition that, now this is, I'm talking minimum, damn near $30,000. I'm not even talking about the goddamn dorm room that costs almost $10,000. Students they're sleeping on the floor, they're sleeping in tents, they're sleeping everything else but in their dorm because the goddamn dorm room was uninhabitable. Let's continue on with this bullshit. The group demands center on concrete plans from the university to address housing woes and solutions to issues around transparency. They want an in-person town hall with Howard's president Wayne Frederick, a permanent reinstatement of all affiliate positions on Howard's board of trustees, a meeting with student leadership to outline plans addressing housing-related issues as well as immunity, legal, disciplinary, and academic for protesting students, as participants have received threats of expulsion or other punishment for their participation. Despite a recent wave of funding to the university, including a $40 million donation from philanthropist Mackenzie Scott. Now, Mackenzie Scott, y'all know who she is? Mackenzie Scott. Mackenzie Scott is a white woman who is the ex-wife to Jeff Bezos. That's who Mackenzie Scott is. So let me understand something. All these ski-wee motherfuckers, all these people I want to call themselves parading around Howard University and how much I love my alumni. How come a fucking white woman is doing it, but your ass is not? Kamala Harris, you got access with the stroke of a pen and the snap of a finger. Your trifling ass can get this shit rectified, but instead, all you want to do is wag your finger at black folks for not giving you the red carpet treatment. Fuck you. You don't deserve that fucking vice president position. Fuck out of here. Other alumni that want to call themselves parading around, acting like they're holier than thou. That clown Stephen A. Smith want to wear a cross-colors jacket. Yeah, when you ain't sniffing Molly Cameron's booty hole, why aren't you at goddamn Howard University helping them kids out? You was quick to talk shit about Kwame Brown, but yet you ain't so quick to lift a finger to help them kids out. Now, this is not to say I'm a fan of Kwame Brown, because I'm not. Because Kwame Brown missed the mark on quite a few issues. But that's not the point here. The truth of the matter is, Stephen A. Smith and people of his ilk quick to go to Howard University for block parties and all this other shenanigans, but yet they're not so quick to help out students who's living in substandard living conditions, but yet they're quick to take their fucking money. Let's continue on. In addition to blighted on-campus housing, sitting participants say that upperclassmen, third and fourth year students struggle to find off-campus housing in DC area, where the average rent is $1,800. Actually, $1,843. Look, rent in DC is not cheap. Anybody that live out in DC know that you're not going to get no kind of cheap rent living out there. So, yeah, someone could parade around saying they make $100,000 a year, but if you live in the DC area or you taking classes out in the DC area, $100,000 a year is a shit because the cost of living is so high. Now, all these and outside of Camel Toe Harris and all these other jackasses, and this goes to show you how worthless the Congressional Black Caucus is. They're worthless. These guys do not speak for the black community. Kamala Harris does not speak for the black community. They continue to parade themselves around their school, holding all kinds of fundraisers, this, that, and the third. How come there's no construction right now for a new dormitory to be built? That all those dorms need to be taken down. Where the fuck is Brittany Cooper at? Hey, we could put Brittany Cooper on the crane, and we could use her as a wrecking ball. Put her ass up on the crane. She could play the role of demolition woman, and she could take out all those fucking buildings. She want to sit up here and talk about feminism, yet if you so concerned about the black girl and this black girl magic that she like to spot out, right? If you ain't out there eating whole chickens on January 26th, or whole turkeys on November 26th, or motherfucking whole ribeye roast on December 25th, Brittany Cooper. Hey, why aren't you helping out these black girls that's out there at Howard University? Huh? All you black feminists out there talking that shit. Why aren't y'all helping these kids out here? Y'all see what the fuck's going on? All these so-called prominent black people, the NAACP, where the fuck are y'all at? Because if it ain't some luncheon that y'all want to get y'all asses fat off of, why the fuck are y'all addressing this shit? You mean to tell me the NAACP chapter out there in the DC area is that powerless? Too many motherfuckers out there eating good and they're not feeling enough pain. There's too many motherfuckers out there that's supposed to be so-called for the black people and for the black community, and they out there parading around themselves in name and not in action. Too many motherfuckers eating good that they ain't feeling enough pain yet. It's incredible that the amount of money Howard University receives each year, whether it be from the government, tuition, fees, donations, and let's not forget the degree, right? They still have buildings that haven't been up to date in years. Students dealing with unhealthy housing conditions say complaints have been met with what they call the Howard run-in, a chronic bureaucracy problem that students say make it difficult to access campus resources for everything from housing to financial aid to appointments at Howard's Health Center. And then when you confront these deans, when you confront this so-called leadership, they want to give you word salad and empty fortune cookie talking point about, well, we hear the concerns of the student body, and we're going to do whatever is necessary to make sure that our student body has proper necessities so they can learn and grow and be proud of her. Shut the fuck up. You guys talk this bullshit. You guys spew out this word salad, and it has no kind of substance at all. And I'm so passionate about this shit because this is our future brothers and sisters that's aspiring to be something. They're aspiring to be lawyers. They're aspiring to be doctors. They're aspiring to be astronauts. They're aspiring to be whatever they want to be. But the problem with it is, how the fuck can they have a healthy learning environment when they got a hostile living environment? You cannot have a healthy learning environment when you got a hostile living environment. Where the fuck are they supposed to study at? On the floor? When it rains outside, how are they supposed to have student body group sessions for whatever they're trying to learn? In the tent? That's unacceptable. And I don't respect that shit not one bit. Even when fixes have been made, students allege that solution has been incomplete. Many students have had health consequences because of issues like mold. And if you got asthma, the last place you need to be in is in a place that got mold in it. If you got asthma, the last place you need to be in is in a place that got mold. And yet, unfortunately, for the student body that goes there, This is what they're subjected to. They've been sick for most of this. You have two 19-year-olds by the name of Jasmine and Asia. They've been sick for most of the semester, unsure what the issue is, before discovering mold and liquid leaking through the ceiling as the likely source of the illnesses. One girl says she's been sick for a month and a half because her air filter wasn't properly cleaned. The protests have received widespread support from a number of influential allies, such as the president and CEO, Derek Johnson, Bernice King, and Gucci Man, who pulled out a performance at Howard's homecoming in solidarity. So what kind of support? What kind of support? Where's the NAACP chapter in this shit? It should not have to be goddamn the CEO, Derek Johnson, right? And I got smoke for Derek Johnson because Derek Johnson sat up there in that Zoom call with Joe Biden, and Joe Biden was cursing their ass out from left and right, and that motherfucker didn't say shit. So as far as support from Derek Johnson of the NAACP go, I kind of have reservations about that one. They've been met with hostility from university officials. Emails from Howard University officials, Howard Vice President of Student Affairs Cynthia Evers, who threatened to punish the students. This woman got some fucking nerve. So you mean to tell me y'all got substandard living conditions, they're bringing to your attention, and the first thing you do is go out here and call yourself one to punish these students? They should fire your ass on the fucking spot, Cynthia Evers. You should not be holding that position right now. Progress also stalled further when students attempted to host a town hall meeting when university officials were met with police who were dispatched to remove the protesters from the center. While no students have been arrested, one student noted that some police have been aggressive, with mostly male officers walking through sleeping spaces with mostly women protesters, even though there could have been hallways they could have used. Now, and then when you try to confront these Bammers about it, you can't reach them for comment. They always want to put out some bullshit, empty fortune cookie talking point. They always want to put out some word salad statement about what we're gonna do, how we're committed, and all that. The only thing you're committed to is your own fucking pockets, man. I don't like these dudes, man. Anybody that was complicit in this charade that was going on, that's been going on for the better part of 2 months now, you should not be in the position you're holding right now. So you're comfortable going to bed at night while these guys is uncomfortable sleeping on the floor. You're comfortable saying prayer at the dinner table with your family while the student body that y'all supposed to represent is trying to figure out how they're going to eat their next meal. Y'all are very comfortable sitting at them dining room tables, those plush, expensive ass dining room tables in your houses. Meanwhile, the student body y'all supposed to represent is uncomfortable sitting on the floor, wondering how they're gonna eat, wondering what they're gonna eat. You guys are disgusting. You guys are beyond disgusting. And I don't have no respect for none of you motherfuckers. And of course, these crash test dummies will come out here trying to defend this bullshit. A recent inspection discovered mold in less than 1% of the rooms, 34 out of 3,300. That's still way too fucking many. That's way too many. One room having mold in it is one too many. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about, oh, well, out of 3,400 rooms, only 1%, 33 of them had, get the fuck out of here, because that's 33 too many. Y'all don't these motherfuckers that come and try to defend this bullshit, they don't realize that mold spread. They don't realize that rats procreate. They don't realize that rats do fuck and rats procreate. Cockroaches fuck and cockroaches procreate. Right? And they do spread amongst the masses. So I don't want to hear this bullshit about, well, there's only like a couple rooms that had cockroaches in it. Oh, well, there's about 5 rooms that had mice in it. I don't give a fuck. That's 5 rooms too many. Y'all want to sit up here and classify things in percentages. 100% of you motherfuckers need to be fired. How about that? How about that? 100% of you assholes need to be fired. You don't need to be in those positions of power because you're abusing it. Y'all got nerve to call the police when students that's supposed to be learning something, that's supposed to be in standard living conditions. They can't learn the curriculum because they're worrying about a rat nibbling on their fucking toes at night. And y'all got nerve to call the police? Y'all got nerve to threaten to expel these? You guys need to be expelled. Every last one of you. Every last one of you. Ruben Patterson, James Davis, Thomas Frazier, you don't even look black. No, not Thomas Frazier, Thomas Foster. You don't even look black. You look white. And you over there as the Associate Dean for Faculty Affairs. The fuck out of here. Okan Hollister, I don't even know who, you don't even look black. And yet you're some kind of dean? The fuck out of here. Benita King, what the fuck are you doing? The fuck out of here. Kim Lewis, Tracy Truitt, all you motherfuckers, all these so-called dedicated staff, Julie Andress, a white girl, Christelle Antoine, Izzy Art, I'm calling all y'all out by name, Gail Cash, Izzy Archie, Tiffany Cooper, Crystal Donaldson, Tanisha Eaton, Portia Hartwell, you fine as hell, but still, you ain't doing shit. Allison Hines, Fannie Melvin, all you motherfuckers, man. I'm calling all your bastards out by name. Y'all deserve this shit. When is enough enough? Y'all want to talk about how these kids are the future, and yet y'all got them living in the past in these bullshit ass dorm rooms. See, when you come to this channel right here, you're gonna get the real. And yes, I might talk basketball, but you know what? Them guys make hundreds of millions of dollars. They got a certain lifestyle to live. I want to see the youth that's out there that's learning to become someone or something in society, right? Someone that's gonna be black empowerment and not a tool for white supremacy. I need you fucking bootlicks out there to get off your fucking asses and start putting on these posturing pieces and do something about this shit. These students have no business being in substandard living conditions. You guys draw well enough paychecks that y'all can do something about it. Y'all mean to tell me y'all can't put these students in free free hotels? Y'all can't? Look, this is so fucking easy to do. All them hotels that's out in DC right now, you mean to tell me y'all can't come up with a contract? It's so fucking easy to do. There's so many hotels out in fucking DC to where y'all can't talk to the Hilton or y'all can't talk to the Marriott. Y'all can't talk to no hotel and cut a memorandum of agreement to where, hey, we got students that are substandard living conditions right now. If we give you so much money, can we put your students in these rooms? You can't do that. Oh, Max, hey, we already talked about her. She was the first person in my fucking crosshairs, bro. She was the first person in my fucking crosshairs, bro. So you damn right I've not forgotten about Camel Toe. She the first one. She the vice president of the United States. She supposed to bet make some shit happen. Yeah, but she be running. Yeah, she's so busy trying to put on political theater and all that, trying to look good in front of the camera. Her and that corny ass motherfucker, corny Booker, but yet she don't got enough time to address the issues at her goddamn school. The school where she said she smoked weed in '85 while listening to Tupac and goddamn on Snoop Dogg. Yeah. So trust me, I look. I would never take my foot out of her ass because that's the only thing that's going in her ass. Because nothing else is going in. I can promise you that. Not from me. I was. I would keep my foot in her fucking ass. Trust me. Anyway, an erosion of the democratic norms, escalating climate emergency, corrosive racial inequality, crackdown on the right to vote, rapid pay inequality. America's on the fight of its life, raising $1.25 million to fund the reporting in 2022. For 10 years, no, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah, fuck that. This is why I get so fired up, man. Because you got these so-called prominent black people that are quick to parade around. Hey, I went to Howard University, and in this class I learned about the critical race theory and all this other bullshit, right? But yet they ain't so quick to help these kids out. They're not so quick to help these kids out, man. I don't respect that. I don't respect that at all. Them kids deserve way better than that, because they wouldn't accept that. So I just don't understand. They wouldn't accept living in these kind of conditions or whatever like that. So what makes them think that the poor kids should live like that? Them poor kids have no business living like that. Kevin Wedderburg, what's up, man? You already know what it is, man. I don't like this woman. I don't. Because I'm going to say it again. Last year, she was parading around Howard University with Dana Bash. She was parading around Howard University when Joe Biden tapped her to be the goddamn vice president. So she did a tour around Howard University with Dana Bash and all the CNN crew. And you mean to tell me she couldn't find nothing wrong when CNN was so busy reshuffling, recycling, and repackaging this whole, and all she wants to do is sit up here and talk about, yeah, Howard University was very instrumental to my development as a get the fuck out of here. Well, you're not very instrumental in the repair of these goddamn going dormitories that look like goddamn on that's uninhabitable right now. What's up, Stephanie? Salute my sister. For real, I just don't respect this woman, man. I don't. I don't respect anybody else that were complicit in letting these conditions go get to this point. It ain't just on Kamala Harris. There's a lot of people that have done that went through Howard University. They've held block parties. They're quick to go there for homecoming, and you got these motherfuckers quick to go down there and see who they gonna hook up with at homecoming. But yet they won't bring their ass back home to address the real needs. So all those people that were there for homecoming, how come How come it took Gucci Man to cancel a concert there to finally address this issue that's been there for years? And why is Mackenzie Scott, a white woman, paying for making contributions? Where are these so-called alumni at? Some fucking bullshit. It's unacceptable, man. That's unacceptable. That's unacceptable. But yeah, these black bootlegs, like you got that butterball bastard Roland Martin. Yeah, he quick to talk about. Oh yeah, I represented HBCU. Yeah, he quick to say some shit about that. Always wearing some goddamn old ski wee jacket. Always wearing some ski wee shirt. Always wearing some goddamn ski wee flip flops and all that when he's out there broadcasting in his basement and shit. Why he out there doing nothing about this shit? But he always talk about he at the front line. The only front line you been at was Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. Don't tell me this shit about you being on the front lines of anything. And I stand by what I said. If you support what I do, this the Cash App, that's my PayPal if you support what I do. Because enough is enough. At what point is enough where you got these people out here who say they gonna do things, they say they get things done, but yet when it comes down to the rubber meeting the road, they don't get shit done. Because you don't get judged based on your projection, you get judged based on your results. And the results have shown these guys have done shit. There's too many people out here making projections. Too many people out here saying they gonna do something. And then you got the other side of the court. You got people out there not saying they're gonna do nothing, not trying to do nothing, but yet they're parading around with a goddamn title. All that is bullshit. All that is cap. All that is unacceptable. And I stand by what I say. Because there's no excuse. Look, if you go to these white supremacist schools, you're not going to hear anything about rats and roaches and all kinds of mushrooms growing out the side of a goddamn kitchen sink. You're not going to dare hear anything like that about no damn white schools because them white folks ain't tolerating that shit. So why we got to have it in the black schools? Why the black schools got to be subjected to mice and rats and roaches and mushrooms and mold and all that? Why the black schools got to be subjected to that? It's disgusting. It's unacceptable. I don't respect that shit. I don't. It needs to be said. More of this needs to be talked about instead of, who's the greatest basketball player of all time? Big fucking deal. How does being the greatest basketball player of all time help address the issues within the black community? How has having debates of who has the better handles and who's the better basketball player and who's one of the all-time greats, how does that address black empowerment? It don't. How does talk about who's the greatest scorer of all time and how does all that address black empowerment? How does that address systemic racism? It don't. And you got too many black folks sleeping at the wheel. You got too many black folks who can do something about it, won't do anything about it. Because it affects their bottom line. it affects their status quo. Well, fuck you, fuck your status quo, and fuck your bottom line. If you got the ability to do something about it, get off your fucking ass and do something about it. All this commitment.
$4.95. $4.45.
They want to wolf this bullshit about commitment. Well, we're committed to doing this, and we're committed to the excellence. No, you're not. No, you're not.
You have a wonderful day, dear.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The only thing I see these guys out here do, all these ski-wee motherfuckers, all these so-called quote-unquote prominent black folks and all that, the only thing I see them committed to is keeping their own pockets in line and being that goddamn Jim Clyburn's annual fish fry. That's the only thing I see these jackasses committed to. Yeah. Jim Clyburn got that annual fish fry down there in Columbia, South Carolina in the springtime. Yeah, or my personal favorites, right? Where they attending the winter luncheon, and then 3 months later they had a spring luncheon, and then another 3 months later they had a summer luncheon, and then you got the fall luncheon. Just getting fat. Just out there getting fat, dumb, and happy, and yet you got these poor kids out here whose parents is, in some cases, the students themselves, spending money hand over fist, getting themselves into thousands upon thousands, tens of thousands of dollars in debt, and they can't even get standard living conditions, y'all. They can't even get a adequate space with a goddamn TV, bedding, a kitchen, and a workable toilet. And yet you got Master Splitter and his cousins, and you got, it's like Master Splitter and his cousin and Joe's apartment all in one. But yet you got these so-called prominent black folks want to run around here acting like they hold all these titles, and they put in all this work. Y'all ain't done shit. So fuck all y'all. All you motherfuckers out there that's running your mouth, not doing the goddamn thing about this shit, fuck all y'all. Because y'all part of the problem. Y'all sitting out there being crash test dummies for white daddy. It should not take an outsider and Mackenzie Scott, the ex-wife of Jeff Bezos, to step in and put in more contributions than the people who actually went there. You guys let me know what y'all think about this. Smash the like, hit the subscribe. I hope that this video goes viral and y'all share this video, man. Because the truth needs to be told, man. Too much bullshit going on. This your boy. Scream at me. Oh!